What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list going into this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all the things you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, not in any particular order, ticker is HSDT, sitting at 24.13. Over the last 1 year, it is down 96.1%. But over the last 5 days, it is up 13.34. And then over the last 1 month, up 295%. And so this is exactly the type of stock that I generally like to add to my list because it does have some pretty good pre-existing momentum and shorts are overextended. So again, that's kind of the basis of what made this top 5 list. But on a side note, if you are curious on what this company does, this is it. So healthcare equipment based out of the States. Right now, 25.6% of the free floats being shorted, works at be 275,000 shares. And so this is exactly as well what the market loves to shout short squeeze about because it's heavily shorted and a low float. So again, something to keep in mind. Short score is 81.48, higher the number, higher likelihood of a squeeze happening. And then cost to borrow average is 598. That's an annual rate, not a daily rate, just on a FYI. And then through IBKR does indicate a measly 100 shares is available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is in some cases, whenever there's limited supply, such as this, you could be seeing some buying coming from big players. BlackRock, Vanguard, and many other names love to buy stocks just to lend out. So again, that could be adding some buying pressure and everything else. And even aside from that, rolling into this week, we have a lot of good momentum in the broader market. So making a lot of these stocks quite desirable. So make sure you add them all to your watch list. So this is stock number 5. Moving on to the next one, ticker is CRCW. So this one's a unique one. So I've been doing these types of videos for a long time. And a good chunk of the time, the stocks either have a nice squeeze or they just continue to appreciate. Regardless, it does work out fairly favorable, again, to add them to your watch list. I've never added a OTC stock. So this is the first time, but again, ticker is CRCW, sitting at 0.0086. Just on Friday, went up 36.51%. Over the last 1 year, up 681. And then over the last 1 month, up 196%. So a lot of good momentum. On a side note, if you kind of think about it, even though it is OTC, market cap is sitting at 34.24 million. That's sometimes a little bit higher than kind of stocks that are on NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. Aside from that though, this is what they do. So IT consulting and other services based out of Malibu in the States, but 23.17% of the free floats being shorted. So shorts as of late just massively, and underline massively, they just went all like gung-ho. It went from 0.09% to 23.17. So shorts have absolutely thrown everything that they can at it. One thing to take note of though, there is about 1.94 million shares being shorted, and technically only 810,000 are on loan. So this is a pretty good indication of naked shorting. OTC stocks, you can't really see how many available shares there is, so I'm not going to waste your time and go through that, but this stock definitely adds to your watch list. I know some people can't trade OTC stocks, but again, if you can, definitely add this one to your watch list. Moving on, QBTS. So a lot of quantum stocks have been on fire recently. So this stock sitting at 26.88 over the last 1 year, up 2,700%. Absolute insanity. Over the last 1 month, it is up 65.77%. And ultimately, in case you are curious, this is what they do. So based out of the States, application software and so forth. But 19.13% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 63.4 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average kind of on the low end, 1.57%. Short score, 67.57. And then ultimately DTC is something I do want to bring up. So that does kind of show the magnitude of a squeeze. So that is at 1.54 days. So that factors in the average volume in comparison to number of shares being shorted. So again, kind of signals that shorts are very, very overextended. And aside from that, shorts over the last greater part of 2025 have been lingering between that 17 to 20% range. So shorts have been really holding on for dear life, despite the stock price really going like parabolic. As far as this goes, there's about 650,000 shares available to be shorted. So probably not immediately, but maybe throughout the week, you could be seeing some buying from big players. So again, add this stock to your watch list. Moving on to the next one, ticker is NFE, sitting at $2.34. Over the last 1 year, it is down 77.92. But over the last 1 month, fairly flat, 5 days up 67.2%. So pretty good stuff for that. This is what they do on a side note. So oil and gas storage and transportation, 722 employees, founded in 1998, based out of good old NYC. 37.77% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 48.6 million shares overall being shorted. Short score 75.4. Cost to borrow average 22.43. So kind of getting up there a little bit. DTC though, 3.22 days. Shorts recently, so it looks like, well, I wouldn't say recently, but in February, it went from about 21% to a high of about 49%. So shorts have massively doubled down. And that actually did add to the certain level of suppression that has been happening to this stock over the last year. So a lot of this downward pressure right here has been because of shorts. But recently, like I said, over the last 5 days, this stock's getting a lot of attention. I do have a Discord completely free to join on a side note. So I recommend some people to pop over there if you like-minded individuals and investors. But I've had a lot of people bring up NFE. So definitely this one's kind of reaching the masses in reality. One thing as well, there's about 50,000 shares available to be shorted. So you could be seeing some buying as well going into this upcoming week. And then last but not least, another quantum stock, and that is ticker QMCO, sitting at 1188 over the last 1 year, up 239.43%. Over the last 1 month, up 67%, and over the last 5 days, up 55%. So this stock's starting to heat up, and I guess if you kind of think about it from a multiple standpoint, it's kind of cheap in comparison to a lot of other quantum stocks. This is what they do. So based out of good old San Jose in the States. And right now, 10.86% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 1.42 million shares overall being shorted. Cost of borrow average 42.8. Short score is 77.8. And then about DTC is about 1.73 days. One thing I do also want to bring up though, shares on loan is 1.51 million. Number of shares being shorted 1.42. So it's not really over, kind of showing naked shorting, but is very, very close. Again, another sign that shorts are very overextended. Through IBKR, it does indicate a measly 100,000 shares is available to be shorted. So even similar to what happened on Friday, how it went from 45,000 available to 200,000, a big player probably bought in and started to lend it out. So again, this is why you could be seeing some additional buying, and that'll just push the stock price a little bit higher. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that you feel could squeeze this week? And if so, throw some tickers in the description below. One final thing, if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.